All right. Let's talk about boundaries examples, right? So I wanted to give you some ways you can communicate boundaries for those of you who are not in the practice of boundaries, and that's okay. That's what I'm here for, right? So let's say in the first example that someone wants to meet with you at a time you're unavailable. Now, this occurs often in the workplace, especially in corporate America. People either look at your calendar and still book a meeting over a time where you're already booked, or they don't look at your calendar and just decide what's best for them. Either way, here is an example of how you can communicate. You can respond back and propose a new time. And in it, you can put a message that says, "Hey, Sally, hey, girl, I'm happy to meet with you, but unavailable at the time you originally proposed. How about we meet at X date and time and take care of whatever we need to take care of, right?" And you can use your words, make it your own, make sure you're making it personal to you and not kind of this boilerplate language. But this gives you something to get started with. Another example of an event is your boss keeps handing out work, right? Like they just keep handing out the shit. And you keep saying, "Hey, I don't have capacity," but they keep giving it to you. This is a place to include a boundary, or at least make sure that you are communicating expectations consistently, often. And you can do that in a number of ways. In this example, we talk about scheduling time with them, scheduling time, or just picking up the phone and reaching out to them. And you want to discuss what's on your plate. You want to provide them with a snapshot of what you can get completed. So you don't want to just show up and be like, "Hey boss, I can't do all this mess. What do you want me to do?" No, you want to take the lead on what you want to do. And you want the things that you want to do, that you're going to propose, to be the ones that are high visibility, high impact, and highly tied to your objectives for the year, right? You don't want to leave that open to them to decide and dictate to you. That may not turn out in your best interest. Okay. So you want to at least start from what you think is the best position, and you want to give them the least amount of work to do. But you can have the conversation with them. Like, "Hey, here are all the things I think I can get X, Y, or Z done. My team can get X, Y, or Z done, but there's still these other things. And maybe these other things are still deliverables due during the week. Hey, boss, are there any other teammates who have some capacity this week? Any other ideas you have for how to get this done? If not, is it okay if I reach out to the person and tell them that, hey, we won't meet the Thursday deadline, but we'll get it to them by Tuesday and we'll make sure it's a priority as we go into the new week," right? This is how you display leadership. You're making your boss aware, but you're not just taking them the problem, you're taking them the solutions, and you're still getting things done. This also gives them a chance to weigh in, to not be blindsided when someone calls and says that you missed a deadline. And it shows that you can lead. In the workplace, especially as we move forward, the number of times for which things can be done by the overreaching in a lot of cases, made up in the air timelines and deadlines that we've been given, they're likely to be missed. That is not a reflection of you. Be willing to say, "Hey, either me or my team can't get this done on this date, but we can get it by here. And here's, what needs to happen before that, or here are all the things that we have already committed to." Or as a leader, be willing to say, "Yes, I can, but I'll need X, Y, or Z resources to get that done first." Like, be willing to have those conversations. You got to be willing to say the things, to ask for the things, to communicate what it'll take to get it done, other than you working 5,000 hours. So that's not the only way, right? So, as always, if you want to practice different examples, if you have a scenario I haven't mentioned here, bring it to the group. You can do it in a Facebook group, or you can bring it to a coaching mentoring call, and I'm happy to help you, happy to bounce around ideas to make sure that you feel comfortable and confident as you go into that conversation with your boss or someone else in your organization.